The other big story we're following is that brush fire out of Lahaina. We want to go to Pono Murray. Joins us now live by phone.
It is racing for a hurricane
there, and you actually
This fire started, we got the call, must have been around midnight. It started up in the valley of Hokiokio. And with the conditions we were facing, looked like maybe above 50-mile-per-hour winds. It was one of the craziest situations I've ever been in.
And we're looking up in the mountains, we see an orange glow. Do I come from Kaiheleku? Do I come from Hokiokio? Do I come from Mill Street? What road do we get there? It's dark, power is out, there's gates, and those kinds of things, and we're trying to navigate and coordinate access to it at first.
So I was actually out checking, because we have a rather large mango tree that's on the other side of the fence, so I'm checking my own house, and I noticed this strange glow, because I live in Kahana. Back this way, it wasn't until after that I went back inside, started searching, and realized that the hillside was on fire.
We were preparing for wind, we were preparing for rain, and we got fire instead.
First of all, we started with a hurricane. Last Wednesday it was coming on us. We had a full house of guests. Then the fire started on Friday. I believe it was Friday early morning. So the whole Lahaina hillside had to be evacuated.
This fire burned more than we've seen in the past, you know, and it's getting worse every time.
For me, it was like I was scared, like tensed. That's like what we're gonna do and stuff. Me personally, I thought I was gonna die, but I lived, so.
I was just thinking, wow, it's just a big fire, just during a hurricane too. That's never happened before to me.
I believe everybody had a little piece of their heart broken by seeing the damage to the campus, but like anything, we thought positively, because we were just as amazed as how the damage occurred on the perimeter of the campus and nothing touched the buildings.
I am just stunned by how close it came and how it stopped. I know the firefighters were up here keeping it away, and fortunately they did a great job.
Everything lined up because of the storm, because of the lack of rain and how wet our winters were. So we had a lot of growth. Everything was dry, and with that wind pushing down, it just turned into like the perfect storm.
So our first engine makes it up there, huge flame front in the valley, houses are being impacted. Anyway, so we're trying to determine if we can keep it in the box with fire engines. We quickly realized that we cannot.
If any one of we had 4 major lines, and if any one of our lines failed, or any one of our links in the chain failed, no joke, we would have lost the entire Lahaina. So
We can't even describe what that feels like. I can't even describe it, because that is blessings that you can't explain. That how could that happen? Maybe the firefighters have very in-depth stories as to how that was achieved, but what we see this morning it's amazing.
Amongst the hurricane and Hurricane Lane, but a fire came extremely close to Lahaina Luna, Lahaina Intermediate Schools, and those schools were put on alert, and we're fortunate they didn't have structural damage, but with all the wind from the hurricane and all the ash, it left our schools very dirty, and they needed to be cleaned. And so we're very fortunate the Lahaina community pulled together, and they came out and they volunteered en masse at all 4 of our campuses in Lahaina to clean up, get rid of the ash in all the classrooms, the cafeteria, our kitchens, cut trees. We had a lot of debris from the winds from the hurricane. So we're very fortunate. I feel very blessed to work with the Lahaina community because of the volunteering, and nobody complained. They just all came and rallied around our school.
Seems like the community came together more this time, and we've taken care of it.
Well, I mean, I heard through the communication lines that Lahaina Luna High School needed help today. I got Lynn's phone number. I sent her a text. A couple hours later, she sent me back a reply and said, come on down with as many people as you can. About 7:30 last night, I sent out a message to our community asking for volunteers. Within 1 minute, I got back my first response actually from one of our students, so that was very cool. And then all the way up till about 11 o'clock last night, I was getting responses for people that wanted to come and help out.
Because they need help. And Lahaina Luna needs help, I'm here.
We heard about the fire, and we're missionaries for the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints. And so what we do is go around and help people, and so when we heard that they needed help, we decided to come up and help.
Well, I'm up here to participate and help in the community, you know, say I help every chance I get.
There's a big fire and there's ash everywhere, so we need to come up here and clean the school.
So we just came up to help clean up the classes, so hopefully tomorrow we can have school too.
I just did a simple social media post asking anybody who was interested in helping us.
We're up here just to have a little bit of fun, feed about 1,000 people or so.
We had about 200 volunteers, food to feed 1,000 people, 2 pallets of water, and the supplies are still coming.
To make people happy, you have to keep them fed. If you keep them fed and fat, they're really happy. So that was the philosophy of getting people up here. There was no electricity for 3 days. We made this stew yesterday. We chilled it down, reheated it today, so it has really good flavor, and it's a gut warmer. It's a gut happy thing.
When we lost power, and the whole time we were out of power until yesterday, the freezer was able to stay well below freezing. Speaking of, what's behind us here is a donation that was brought up to us by, it was Marriott, right? Yeah. Basically, this is like a giant refrigerator. So this one stays around 37 degrees, which is perfect. 41, anything above 41 is considered dangerous. And that's where I was at when I was coming up twice a day after the initial threat of the fire was 80% contained. This is the one that I was worried about.
We knew we'd lose electricity. We started cooking at 4 o'clock in the morning. By 8 o'clock, the electricity was gone for another 8 hours. So we cooked all the food that we possibly could in the kitchen while electricity was still running. And then we set up a makeshift campfire kitchen on our loading dock with ovens and grills and stovetops, and we just kept cooking all day long.
Well, as of right now, I haven't been inside very much, but yeah, this is totally Ohana. This is totally everybody helping each other. This is definitely a community that's supporting each other and helping each other out.
The Lahaina pride is always something that, you know, flows through the community, and it always has flowed through the community my entire life. But this is the very first time that we've literally had to band together as a community to come together and to rebuild.
You know, people rise to the occasion. We keep getting told today that, you know, there's a disintegration of human values, that we're losing our sense of community. You know, that's what we hear, that's what the news would like us to believe because it makes for good story. But the human character and the human spirit lives among us, and in Hawaii, this whole place is built on people coming together. The spirit of aloha is in the very ground that we walk on and the air that we breathe.
It's reacting from the heart. I have to just think that comes first to mind.
It's awesome. It really, it's a tearjerker, and it's hard to talk about a little bit. But the West Side really pulled together. There was a bunch of chefs yesterday that got together. And you know, the West Side's a huge community, and we all love each other. We all take care of each other.
As missionaries, we get 1 day a week to kind of go shopping, talk to our family, and that's actually today. And so we decided to give that up to come up here and help.
Well, I just know that human beings throughout history, under dire circumstances, respond to each other and to themselves and to their children and to their family. And this is no different. We're here today to clean up the ash. We're here today to brighten the school. We're here today to make sure that there's school for these kids tomorrow. And that's what we learned from this. And my only hope is that it's not the event that brought us together, that we can continue this in the future.
The students here always say, West Side's the best side. And it shows when something like this happens, people get together and they make sure things improve. basically overnight.
You know, Lahaina Luna has a history here. I mean, they're the oldest high school west of the Mississippi.
It means a lot of things because my grandpa guys came here, my mom came here. Hopefully, like if I grow up and I have kids, I want them to come here too and like be grateful like for the school that they have, like because a lot of kids in other places don't have school too. So I'm just grateful to have a school.
My grandpa went to Lahaina Luna starting back in 1910. My mom and both my uncles. So me and big guy here, we were gonna die before we let this school burn. Yeah.
still, surrounded with its beauty and its glory. To thee our song shall ever song shall ever be. To thee our song shall